have to make a wish. Must make a wish that my next 60 years will be as good as this one. Thank you, Brian.
Remember, that's how I was with Jackie O. I was like really very nervous when I met her on a one-to-one. So I associate that is the same thing when people meet me for the first time, is meeting Tina Turner, someone that's always been on television or on stage far away from you. Yeah, it's the same feeling of meeting someone that close.
What did Jackie O mean to you?
Oh, she was in a hotel, I think. She was having dinner there. She was there with friends and with, what was his name? Onassis, yeah. To me, she always remained Mrs. Kennedy. And I was standing there in the hallway. It was during that time when times were really bad for me. And she was an uplift because she was someone that I looked to for manners and for all of that. And I looked and I said, that looks like Mrs. Kennedy at the end of the hall. Because you know how she held herself always so correct. And I said, it is. And I dropped everything and ran down the hallway. And I said, oh, Miss Kennedy, Miss Onassis. And I said, oh, my name is Tina Turner, and I just want to say hello. And she said, and this big smile came. Oh, I want to say thank God for the smile. And she extended her hand, and she said, oh, very nice to meet you. And I had just spent time at Hyannisport with Ethel and Robert's children. We had all did the pony and dancing. And I think she wished that she had been there for that after I told her what we were doing. And she said, oh, my kids would be so pleased. I said, well, are they here? And so she said, oh, no, they're sleeping, whatever it is, she said. But anyway, as I turned, and then there he was this big. He said, oh, like a big Santa. And I said, oh, hi. I almost called him Mr. Kennedy. I was totally lady with my style on stage. And you would have thought Diana Ross, the nice big dresses and all of that, but no, that didn't quite fit with the emotions of performing. You know, that's why I think that's why.
Do you think you achieved that though? Do you feel that kind of ladylike class and glamour?
No, not you. You don't try to be just like. You just take what you need. All I needed was when I was approached, unladylike, you immediately turn that side that you have taken as a lady to them. And then they realize that you're not what they thought, that you're a lady. So I think it went over time when they met me or they did some, not dealings, how they came in contact with me at a party or whatever, that I wasn't just this really loose woman, that I was a lady. Even though it sounds like it, because when I asked my husband to make love to me, I didn't do anything, but they didn't hear me. But I took as much of being a lady from her as I could, and I carried that with me through life. Don't I look like a lady sitting here?
Yes, you do. That's what I'm saying. I think you achieved. That's why I'm wondering if you feel that.
No, I took that along the way with me. I dress, I act, I'm careful with how I act or in public or whatever. I care about those things. I realize that they are nice. It's refreshing. And being a bitch isn't. You can tell those girls that on the dance floor or whatever. You don't want that in your life. And that is when it comes into play. That is when you let.
It is with great sadness that we announce the passing of Tina Turner. With her music and her boundless passion for life, she enchanted millions of fans around the world and inspired stars of tomorrow. Today we say goodbye to a dear friend who leaves us with all the greatest work. Her music. All our heartfelt compassion goes out to her family. Tina, we miss you dearly. Peter Linsbaugh, yes, he gave out the information, the message concerning the death of rock and roll star. Yes, how Tina Turner, legendary rock and roll singer, died at the age of 83. Yes, and it is being known that Tina Turner is the pioneer of rock and roll who became a pop behemoth in the 1980s. She has died after a very long illness. She suffered in the recent years and she was diagnosed with intestinal cancer in 2016 and having a kidney transplant in 2017. Yes, and Turner affirmed and amplified black women's affirmative stroke, yes, in rock and roll, and defining that an era of music to the extent that Mick Jagger admitted to take inspiration from her high-kicking, energetic live performances for the stage persona. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the cause of death. Yes, it is the cause of death. We have talked about it. It's kidney, yes, and intestinal cancer. But she would be remembered all the time for having pioneered the rock and roll music, which is right now still a big thing. Keep it times Elijah updates. We shall get you informed all the time about her funeral service and the rest.